So apparently Call of Duty is coming to Nintendo consoles, and it's going to be for the next 10 years. This is a video that is kind of weird. Once in a while, we always kind of cross my channels. So I have two channels. This one's Nintendo, the other one's not Nintendo. I do some Call of Duty over there amongst other gaming content that's not Nintendo related. But on this channel, I'm basically going to be playing a little bit of B-roll of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 because we're talking about Call of Duty. But we're on a Nintendo channel because there's going to be a deal between Nintendo and Microsoft. My friends, it is crazy. This is like a whole other dimension or something going on here. I don't know what's going on, but it is very, very interesting. So if you don't know, there's been this whole thing where basically, Activision, Microsoft, right? Microsoft's been trying to acquire Activision. There's been a whole thing going on there. They offered Nintendo a deal to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo to sign a 10-year contract. And then there was also that same deal offered to PlayStation, which PlayStation stuck their nose up at for some reason. I don't know why, which is kind of crazy. But Nintendo was like, hey, sure. And they actually they went through with it. So it's pretty crazy. We first got a report of something like this around, what was it, December 6th, I believe it was, where Phil Spencer basically said that they were committed to helping bring more games to more people, however they choose to play. And so basically they announced that they were offering a deal or something like that to Nintendo. I can't remember if that was an announcement officially or if that was a leak. I think it was official, if I remember correctly. What's really interesting is that the Call of Duty franchise has not been on Nintendo platforms since, I think it was like Call of Duty Ghosts, I believe, came out on the Wii U in 2013. I think Ghosts came on the Wii. Yeah, I think it did, right? Which is pretty crazy. But it's been a while. We haven't had any Call of Duty on the Nintendo Switch, and even then, on the Wii U, on the Wii, all the Call of Duty games are kind of, mediocre. They weren't that great. Now, keep in mind that, you would have to assume that this is only going to happen as long as Activision and it gets acquired by Microsoft, of course, right? If they don't, I mean, this is a deal from Phil Spencer. But Phil Spencer is basically saying that if this goes through, if they end up acquiring Activision, then they are committed. They signed a deal with Nintendo that if this goes through, they are going to bring Call of Duty games to Nintendo platforms for the next 10 years minimum. It doesn't specify platform or anything like that. It just mentions Call of Duty by name. And we actually have a little bit of an actual official statement, a report that was posted online. This one's coming from the vice chair and president of Microsoft. So this is as official as you can pretty much get. And they said that we've signed a binding 10-year contract to bring Xbox games to Nintendo gamers. This is just part of our commitment to bring Xbox games and Activision titles like Call of Duty to more players on more platforms. So I'll throw this up on screen. This is exactly what he posted. He posted this little kind of picture thing that shows Microsoft and Nintendo's logo and a little bit of a text. And that's what they said. They said that Microsoft and Nintendo have now negotiated and signed a binding 10-year legal agreement to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo players the same day as Xbox. So whenever they launch on Xbox, it's going to be out on Nintendo as well, with full feature and content parity, so they can experience Call of Duty just as Xbox and PlayStation gamers enjoy Call of Duty. We are committed to providing long-term equal access to Call of Duty to other gaming platforms, bringing more choice to more players and more competition to the gaming market. It's pretty crazy, man. It's pretty insane in all honesty. So here's the thing. People are going to be asking, how are you going to do that? First of all, again, it's not necessarily content specific. By the time this deal even goes through and the following Call of Duty, post, actual acquisition was to go through, the next Nintendo console is going to be out soon. That said, if we're going with the Nintendo trend, the next Nintendo console is probably not going to necessarily be too powerful. They never go with the most powerful, hardware. Then again, they might step it up a little bit this time. I don't care that Nintendo goes for the most powerful hardware. I just want to see them be able to, create powerful enough hardware that they can, actually have solid third-party support. That's the only reason why I would like to see that. Beyond that, I mean, the Switch has proven that, games like Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, all the other first-party games, and even a lot of third-party, like, Monster Hunter Rise, especially with certain art styles, they look great, they play great for the most part. They figured out a way to do that, so that's fine. That's not, I don't care too much about that. But to be able to play Call of Duty, if it was to come out on the Switch, it would most likely be cloud. I don't see, any other scenario unless it's really dumbed down, like it's Call of Duty mobile style. That is a possibility, obviously, with Fortnite, for example, the Nintendo Switch and the mobile consoles, with the mobile players would be kind of grouped up together, for example, in matchmaking. So there is that to consider. So it might be like Nintendo just gets, Call of Duty mobile. Again, they didn't specify which Call of Duty, but they did say the games that would be coming to Xbox the same day. So again, that would assume, new games, new Call of Duty games, the big titles, right? That come out every single year. So, I would wonder how they would do that. The next Nintendo console would have to be, either a little bit more powerful, or it would end up being like a cloud version, and you'd be streaming it somehow. I don't know. That said, they didn't just mention Call of Duty. Call of Duty is the focus, but they also said, originally they said to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo players, but they also said, in the post, by Brad Smith, who again is the the vice chair and president of Microsoft, was saying, that this is bringing Activision titles like Call of Duty to more platforms. So this could also just mean more Activision games in general. But Call of Duty is obviously the big one. Call of Duty is a pretty big one. And the thing with the Switch too is if they could pull it off without cloud, then you could take Call of Duty with you on the go, which is pretty intriguing, outside of just, COD Mobile, which again, maybe is just going to be a console port of COD Mobile to start off with. And then, maybe down the line, they add, some of the bigger games. I really don't know. Nonetheless, it's very interesting. And it's 10 years they've signed on for this, so we're going to be getting more Call of Duty games on the future Nintendo consoles even. And the reason this is so great, in my opinion, as well, is also because the fact that Nintendo, one of the biggest flops with the Wii U is that they didn't have much third-party support. They've had a lot more and a lot better third-party support with the Switch, which has been fantastic to see. That's also helped the console too, right? The first-party stuff is like the main reason people buy Nintendo consoles for the most part, but it's nice to have that good, solid third-party support. Like I said, Monster Hunter Rise was exclusive to the Switch for how long? Which was great. Obviously, we had Monster Hunter 4 on the 3DS as well. But the point being is that there's been a lot more third-party support, and this is only going to push it even further with Xbox, Microsoft signing this deal with Nintendo. Like I said, Call of Duty being the big one, but that also opens the door for more Xbox games, not just Activision, but they said more Xbox games in general. So this is a pretty good thing, and it's also, like I said, and maybe very vaguely, like I take this with a pinch of salt, might hint at the fact that the next Nintendo console, the Switch's successor, might be decently powerful. Maybe not. I wouldn't go too far into speculating that, but maybe. Either way, it's pretty good news, because more support on Nintendo consoles is always a good thing, beyond just the first party. Like I said, Nintendo kills it at the first party. I think they are the king of the gaming industry. They don't need the best, most powerful hardware, or the best graphics, the most ultra realistic visuals. They create the most fun gaming experience, in my opinion, and I think that's what makes them the king of the industry. And like I said, better third-party support is only going to push them even further beyond that. So let me know what you guys think about this news. Want to share it with you guys. It's pretty interesting to say the very least, but it's crazy. So let me know your thoughts. If you enjoyed this one, stick around for more. We do a variety of Nintendo-based content on this channel. If you want to see some of my Call of Duty content and Destiny and other story-based games, and basically anything that's not Nintendo related, check out my other channel. Links in the description below, youtube.com/JSkeleton. We just played through Hogwarts Legacy. We got Destiny 2 Lightfall coming up. We got a bunch of other stuff like that for this channel. Of course, we just finished up Metroid Prime Remastered, and we got a lot of other stuff like Tears of the Kingdom, in the next few months as well, and other things that is really, really exciting. So stick around for more, and I'll see you guys soon in another one. Till then, game on. Thanks for watching.